Welcome. You're likely here because, well, staying informed efficiently is key. So let's get right into it. We're looking at Nvidia today, a tech titan. Seemed unstoppable, really, but now facing some pretty serious challenges in 2025. We've been digging into the latest reports. Our mission, pinpoint the core reasons for these difficulties and, understand the immediate fallout for them.
Exactly. I mean, 2024 was phenomenal for them, but the story has definitely changed this year. You just need to look at the stock price. It's taken a, 24% hit year to date, and even just the last 5 days, down another 6%. So, yeah, something's up.
Okay, so let's unpack the biggest piece first. That seems to be the Trump administration's move, right? Requiring export licenses for those H20 chips going to China.
That's the one. And it's basically a ban, let's be honest. A ban on selling those specific high-performance chips into that market. And the financial sting, well, it's immediate and it's big.
How big are we talking?
Nvidia's looking at a $5.5 billion charge. That's billion with a B. In the first quarter alone. And that's tied directly, to these H20 products and the purchase commitments they already had in place. It's a huge write-down.
Wow. Okay. And that's not the only pressure point, is it? I recall reading about tariffs as well.
No, it's not isolated. There's this looming threat of potential tariffs on imported semiconductors. We're talking chips that go into everyday stuff like laptops and desktops.
So that would hit their gaming and graphics chip sales too, not just the high-end AI stuff.
Precisely. It could put a real squeeze on that side of the business. And then sort of layering on top of that, thinking about AI, there are more controls coming.
The AI diffusion export control set for May.
Yeah. Those will mean licenses are needed for certain countries, even to get a limited number of AI chips. It just adds another layer of difficulty, another headwind.
So it's kind of a perfect storm of regulatory pressure.
Yeah.
But what specifically set off this H20 chip issue? Why those chips? Why now?
Well, the reports point to this Chinese company, DeepSeek. Apparently, they were using Nvidia chips, not even the absolute top-tier ones, mind you.
Right, the below top-tier ones.
Exactly. Still powerful, but not the bleeding edge. And they managed to train some surprisingly potent AI models with them that seems to have, raised alarm bells in Washington. Concerns about China's AI progress and, of course, potential military uses.
Interesting. So it wasn't even their most advanced chip that caused the immediate problem. And the consequence now is NVIDIA stuck with these H20 chips they made for China.
That's the immediate fallout. They have to absorb that cost. These chips were earmarked for China, and now that market's effectively closed off for this product. This isn't just a Q1 blip either. It's expected to impact their whole fiscal year 2025.
And China is, well, it's a pretty significant market for NVIDIA, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was their fourth largest market. We're talking $17.1 billion in sales in fiscal 2025. Just for context, the U.S. is number one at $61.2 billion. Then you have Singapore at $23.6 billion and Taiwan at $20.5 billion.
Okay, but that Singapore number,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there a clarification on that? Is it all actual sales in Singapore?
Good point. No, the report suggests Singapore functions largely as a central invoicing hub. The actual sales physically ending up there are estimated to be only around 2% of that big number. So cutting off China directly impacts that very real $17.1 billion slice of their revenue pie.
Right. It's a substantial hit. But it's not all doom and gloom, surely.
Mm-hmm.
What about their newer chips, like Blackwell?
No, you're right. There is a definite bright spot. Demand for their Blackwell chips is reportedly very strong. That's being driven by the continuous build-out of AI data centers globally. So that part of the business is still firing.
But maybe not firing strongly enough to completely offset these other major concerns for investors.
Seems that way, yeah. The Blackwell demand is great, but these export controls, especially the H20 segregation and the potential tariffs, they represent pretty significant uncertainty and direct financial impact. It hasn't been enough to completely calm those investor nerves, clearly.
So if we boil it down, the key takeaway is NVIDIA is facing some real turbulence in 2025, mainly because of U.S. export rules hitting their China business hard. Big financial consequences, even though parts of their business, like Blackwell, are doing well.
That sums it up nicely. It really underscores how fast things can change, doesn't it? Global tech, regulations, they shift so quickly, and even a giant like Nvidia feels the impact.
Makes you think, doesn't it? What other unexpected things might pop up and reshape this whole semiconductor landscape?
That's the big question, isn't it? Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Indeed. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.